Steve Henson. I'm the editor of the Pueblo Chieftain, and here's what we have coming up at Chieftain.com and in tomorrow's edition of the Chieftain. And we'll also talk a little bit about some of the stories we have coming up this weekend. In tomorrow's paper, we have a story about how the head of the Pueblo Chamber of Commerce wants the city to start taxing Airbnbs, beds and breakfasts in town. You wouldn't think there would be that many in Pueblo, but there's over 100. And they are not currently being charged for lodging fees and taxes. And the chamber wants that to happen because it derives some of the revenue from that. And so we have a story on that. We also have a story. We covered a kids' party at the library for the 75th anniversary of Smokey Bear. Now, I have always thought it's Smokey the Bear. I grew up thinking it was Smokey the Bear, but every time we run that mistakenly, we hear from the Forest Service, wildlife officials, probably Smokey himself, and they say, no, it's Smokey Bear. So if you think when you read the article tomorrow, say, well, those idiots at the Chieftain, they put down Smokey Bear, that's it. It's correct. Live and learn. And then we have a story tomorrow. Leroy Garcia, who is from Pueblo and of course is the president of the Colorado State Senate, is going to be going door to door explaining his position on various matters, including the red flag law, the gun law, that was passed by the legislature this last year. You know, a group is trying to recall several state legislators, in addition to Governor Polis, over the legislative session this last year. And so we'll do a preview of what Senator Garcia is going to be doing. Let's see, we also have one of the 3 District 60 school board members has announced intention for re-election, to run again. Now, we have one that is not going to run and one who hasn't announced. So if you're going to want to find out who's who, then be sure to check out our story online and in tomorrow's paper. And then coming up this weekend, we have a couple of really interesting stories. One will be a profile on our new fire chief, Barbara Huber, the first female fire chief in Pueblo's history. That'll be an interesting story. And then, if you've ever had the misfortune to park down by the Sangre de Cristo Arts and Conference Center to attend an event, and parked in one of those nearby parking lots, like where the old Village Inn used to be located and so forth, and you've come out and found your car missing, and then and wonder what happened to it, well, it's been towed. And the city council is looking at, in particular, one company and maybe others that are doing what we would call predatory practices. You know, they're trolling around these places and there's no signs that say you can't park there. And so what's happening is people are having to pay several $100 to get their car back. Well, the city doesn't think that practice is fair, and what they're looking at is making it a requirement that if you're going to tow, you've got to put up a sign that says you can't park there. And that seems pretty reasonable. So we'll have a story on that this weekend as well. And we'll also have something on the Broncos. What did we learn last night? Nothing. It was a preseason game. You're not going to learn anything. I mean, we saw Joe Flacco, 3 for 4 for 19 yards. I mean, you looked poised out there, but you really can't tell until we really get into that third preseason game and get a sense of where we're going to be. But we'll have a story on that as well this weekend. So that's about it. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll talk to you.